Tries to make a play on 3rd and 4. 1:02 left. Allo to pass. Underneath, picked off George Stone. Stone alone at the 40, the 30, George, the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. No flags on the play.
That's going to get a little life into this football team. You can see them wake up on the sidelines now. Great interception, threw it right to him, and he ran untouched.
Moving around anyway, so people knew me, like the streets knew me anyway. Then they come with the music, and we pop up. 80 niggas, 80 chains, 80 watches. It don't matter what, if you getting up there and humming, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to see what you talking about.
Yo, I've seen this picture of you at the NFL Combine.
Yeah.
Which...
What? Yeah, I ain't seen no picture of no NFL Combine.
Well, I saw you in like the NFL Combine looking like workout.
Yeah, like a workout.
Was that just a workout you were doing for a team?
I don't know. How you see the picture? You ain't read the article that came with it?
I just saw a YouTube video where they were talking about you and like I was just watching some of your high school highlights and your college shit. Like I saw like
what YouTube video you seen?
Dude, I don't know, man. It was like a YouTube video. It showed like you announcing that you're going to Indiana State and.
What's the YouTube video called?
I don't know. I just literally typed in EST Gee football highlights. And I was like, damn, this dude was a beast. You played linebacker, right?
What do that got to do with music and shit right now?
No, I'm just curious because I'm a big football fan. So like, I'm just like, I'm a huge football fan, and I find it fascinating that like you really like had like a real high level like football run. You know what I'm saying? Before the rap shit like took off. So yeah, I just think it's fast. That's obviously a part of your story. So I know it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on right now, but that's fair. I was gonna ask you like when it comes to, I remember when you signed with Gotti. I remember the viral moment where there was just all this cash, and at that time I feel like there was like a bidding war going on for EST Gee at that moment. One, what made you rock with Gotti, and what is something over the last 2 or 3 years that you have learned? Well, for the very first time in Bootleg Hip podcast history, we had someone walk off of the set. Interesting. Oh, well, there's the EST Gee interview that he was 2 hours late for.
Yes, boss. Listen, man, I ain't even gonna play with you. So you just seen a video that I just played for you. I played a little small series of clips, right? Now, in the clip you seen, Bootleg Kev ask EST Gee, yo, look, I seen this photo of you online at the NFL Combine. And right then and there, he was like, what are you talking about? Where'd you see that? He was like, yo, I Googled you and I seen you at the Combine. He was like, were you doing a workout or something? For those who don't understand what took place, I'm going to break it down for you very suave, right? EST Gee just got his card pulled. Because anybody who really knows what's what, they know that you cannot be in the streets and be in football at the same time. You can, but it's not going to work out the way that you want it to, and I'm going to explain that, right? It's just like having 2 full-time jobs. Eventually, you're going to get burnt out. The original goal was to make it to the NFL, but if that doesn't work, I'm going to find a way to ball forever. Something, right? I got to make it happen. So what he did was he sold his soul. Now, some people may not believe this. I'm going to break it down for you stat by stat, year by year, so you pick up the picture of where I'm going, right? I've already said there are people who are paid to cause confusion. It's not possible for you to have a strong football career and have strong ties to the streets. If you were in the streets, that's something that started when you were young. You get what I'm saying? That's like middle school. Some people start elementary. Some people started high school. But you have to understand that you cannot pick up and transition from being a football player to the streets at that late of an age. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break it down for you, right? George Stone George Stone was rated the highest linebacker in the state of Kentucky, right? He lettered all 4 years of his seasons at St. Xavier High School. And I'm going to break it down so you pick and see what I'm coming from with this, right? He was ranked number 158 in the nation for linebackers out of 50 states and all of the thousands of schools in each state. He was the number 1 linebacker in Kentucky, right? His senior season, he had 98 tackles by himself, 8 sacks, 5 forced fumbles. That was all during his senior season, right? He committed to Indiana State, which is home of the Sycamores, right? His first season there, he tallied 27 tackles, 11 was by himself, 2 forced fumbles, and he recovered another one. That was at his first season at Indiana State. His second season, he decided to transfer. When he transferred, he went to a junior community college. Now, I'm going to stick a pin right here, right? I'm not the biggest of expert, but I had homies who played sports, and I played sports myself, and I understood this. Whenever people go to junior college is another way for you to get looked at, right? So if you go and transfer to one of these JUCO schools and you perform your tail off, you can end up in turn getting some more scholarships to where you can get more eyes on you or more people to look at you, right? In his one season at Sac City, right, he led the team with 84 tackles, 65 by himself, 16 tackles for a loss, and 8 of those were sacks, right? That was all in one season at Sac City, which is a junior college. The very next season, he transferred. Where he transferred to was SFA, Stephen F. Austin University, right? I believe it's in Texas. Now, in his whole 2 years there, this is why I said this is very important for you to look into. For somebody to have some serious ties to the streets, you really took your football career serious. Because for you to transfer and go to this school and then go to this school, how did you have time to run the streets and be this big time kingpin that you claim to be? You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it doesn't really make sense. But all in all, his only 2 seasons there, he played 22 games, 13 of which he started. He racked up 111 tackles, 44 by himself, 10.5 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, 4 pass breakups, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, and one of them he took back to the house for 50 yards. I'm just telling you this right now. After reading all of his stats, he was really a monster on the field. You can call it he was a goon or a gangster on the field, but as far as the streets go, I don't really know about that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of the main fact is this. You have to understand that people in the music world, as far as the streets goes, the streets only listen to people who came from the streets. You can't really skip out on the process. So I'm going to explain something to you. His football career didn't even go through. He even went to play Canadian football, for those who don't even understand, for some time, right? It didn't work out. So you know what? I'm going to join the streets. You have to understand something. By that time, it's damn near too late to join the streets. It's damn near too late. So for him to say, yo, the streets been rocking with me, the streets knew who he was, if he means in the aspect of, yeah, the streets knew I was a football player, that's different. But other than that, he was not one of those people who was like a big-time kingpin as what he might have made it to have been. He could have made some money. He could have sold a couple dime bags, couple nickel bags. But as far as the El Chapo, Scarface, those type of levels, what people looking for, I highly doubt it was on that level. So the reason being why I dropped this video is because there's a lot of confusion where people feel like you can have your cake and eat it too. That's literally what this is. You can't really be 1 foot in the streets and 1 foot out, because it's never going to really work out the way that you plan to. And I'm going to tell you why. If you were in the streets, you had to have some form of time, built up your resume, all of these things, right? You have to understand that in the streets, You have to gain experience in the streets to know how to handle the streets, to know what comes with it. And you have to also remember as well that when you're in the streets, chances are you're going to end up going to jail or go to prison or something. He got into a situation late into his career, and it was excused. Couldn't go back into football or anything, but he was sure about it that he was going to end up balling forever. EST Gee sold his soul. Now I'm going to explain something to you again for some people who don't understand. There are some people who had a football career and it never worked out, so they just turned to the streets. It's all about if this doesn't work for me, I'm going to have a backup plan. But I'm just here to tell people that, to split the difference. The reason why EST Gee walked out of that interview is because people would have to understand and use sense right then and there. Like, if you were that big in the streets and you went to the NFL Combine, how were you a big-time kingpin? You have to pick one. That's true. You can't have all of these different things going for you. Not saying you can't, but it's very hard, damn near impossible for that to happen. You get what I'm saying? So remember this in life, bro. As I stated before, there's a lot of people who get paid to trick and confuse you. EST Gee's football career ended in 2017. That was about 6 years ago. So within 6 years, you could have been a drug dealer and all of that, but I highly doubt it was this big kingpin status that you talk about. You have to realize the amount of guilt and pressure that hit him, and the fact that Bootleg Kev hit a nerve when he asked that question. If you were in the streets, that means you have to have some serious time in the streets. How did you make it to the NFL Combine? That's not really possible, bro. Look at all these football players who've been in the NFL and they got caught trying to sell drugs and they ended up throwing their whole career away. You have to understand that these things are true. People throw their careers away. Some people, they don't know how to balance the two. But at the same time, you can't just have both of them. You can't be a big-time kingpin and a big-time NFL prospect at the same time. Not saying it can't be possible, but one of them is going to have to outweigh the other. With that being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I use them to uplift you because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser, man. Peace.